Hello and thank you. Today, I would like to talk a bit about real-world assets and tokenization. But let's say I will tell the story about blockchains and values. And I will start at the beginning of our journey. At Choose, we are building business enterprise applications with a focus on ticketing, event management, guest management. And of course, when we 6 years ago heard first time about blockchain technology, we've been thinking, how could we integrate that to enhance and bring more value to the applications of our clients? As you might know, a really known use case is blockchain ticketing, and we started with that the first prototype for our home city, Rijeka, which was the capital of culture in 2020. We built a little web shop where guests could buy tickets, coupon vouchers, and with that, a mobile app which represented the wallet. It was a great success and super damn slow. Some people still wait for their tickets, but it was just one of the challenges we needed to learn while adopting the blockchain technology. In the same year, technically in the next, we implemented with Sports 5, the VIP ticketing system for the European Championship 2020. All the VIP tickets, even additional services, transportation, dinners, lunches, being transferred over our blockchain technology. We developed mobile apps for the main sponsors, Volkswagen, Jet, Takeaway. It was a full success. They all received their tickets. Based on that, we implemented and published last year the Visitor App Marketplace, which is an online platform for local touristical offers, where vendors, producers, businesses can easily deploy their ticket on offers, coupon and vouchers, and as well a mobile app for the customers to buy them, which represents, again, the mobile wallet. Now, after all this time, we can proudly look at more than 1 million tickets we deployed and transferred and issues for real events on blockchain technology. It was a great experience. However, till this date, it feels like we're missing out on some things. There's challenges remain unsolved, and opportunities by the blockchain remain unsolved. And on the first place, I see the usability and accessibility means it's still very complex for you as a business owner or for you as a developer to integrate the technology and see the points, as well as for the consumers and users to understand what are those wallets, why do I need them? But even more interesting are the values. We mostly talk about virtual values. During that time, of course, we also came along DeFi sector, and we issued fan tokens and NFTs, and we created liquidity pools, all the nice things with cryptocurrencies. And that was the time when I realized that when we talk about speed in blockchain, we actually need to see speed in blockchain relative to the value transferred. Now, I had a vision that one day I will sit in a coffee bar with my friend, and I will, in that instant, in that moment, from my phone, transfer him a portion of something real, like maybe a house, a property. And in the same instant, I will receive the funds for it. Instant capitalization and liquidation. Well, based on that vision, we started to develop the platform DeVest. Now, on DeVest, we're trying to solve, at first, challenge number one. An easy solution with one click to deploy any kind of blockchain business model. Now, for example, that could be a token or an NFT. But as always, with an open mind, we made the platform the way that it can be extended to any kind of business model representable with smart contracts. We even added our own. We call it shares or fractional tokens. Despite tokens and NFTs, which just represent a kind of balance in your wallet, fractional shares can represent your share on something in percentage. Now, this solves problem number one. I also prepared a little video to show you how easy it is to deploy a token on our platform. We currently support 6 networks, and yes, Camino is one of them, since 1 month. In the example, we are deploying a simple ERC20 token, and you need to fill out minimal kind of information, let's say the title, a description, and a nice picture. With one click on a button, you deployed a fully audited functional asset on the Camino blockchain, which can now be transferred, distributed. You even could make a liquidity pool. As we learned today, you will soon have stable tokens on the chain, and you have a token ready. It can't be easier. Little discretion at this point, I would like to proudly announce that yesterday evening we made the first cooperation on the Camino blockchain together with the team of Offset Data. All the pictures and images uploaded via our portal will soon be stored on their data service on the Camino chain. Let's continue with the second challenge, the values. So you might have heard about the term real-world asset. It's becoming a bit more mainstream in this year, in the last months. What we actually mean by talking about then. So talking about real-world asset means any tangible, physical good existing in the real world. Let that, for example, be a nice seaside villa on the Croatian seaside, or an airplane, or a car. Now, what we need to do to bring those goods into the digital world to make them actually shareable in a digital way. For that, we need to go through a process which is called tokenization. Now, let's together go through an example process of tokenization on the example on the seaside villa. First of all, you need to be the owner of that property. And the second step, and this is where we now merge the real world with the digital world, at least the start of it, we need to create something like a bond or a security, which is representing in the legal world already a kind of fractional ownership. And now we're coming to something which was mentioned today already multiple times, and this is so-called trustee. Now you're becoming a trustee representing the real values in the real world for the next step, which is actually the digital twin. Now, in combination with the technology just showed to you in fractional ownerships, we can now create on the blockchain our stake fractional ownership token and so represent in your wallet your ownership on this seaside villa. Now, it's even easier for the customers, investors, because they just need to go for a really, really basic and simple KYC process. You can compare that like creating a wallet on the Camino network. And after that, they're instantly able to do their first investment in one of the real-world assets like the seaside villa. But it's getting even better. By taking your first investment in this villa, you also have the right to receive your first revenues. Let's say this villa is rented touristically and is generating, based on that and revenue, it will be automatically transferred to your wallet through the smart contract according to your shares. Now, with talking more about tourism, what are the big benefits of real-world assets in the tourism industry? Now, first of all, you're opening a completely new market in terms of accessibility to funding and financing. You're not anymore based on the local market. Let's say any person in the world can now invest, and even better, because of possibility of micro-investments, your market gets even bigger. There's, however, one point I always like to maintain, and it's also really, I know that it's a topic in a lot of touristical areas around the world, is the keep control and ownership in the country of touristical businesses. For example, I know from Croatia that a lot of properties are sold to foreigners, to foreign businesses. Now the state and the local community, through that, loses control over it. Now, by using this technique, we actually can allow still the owners to receive international funding, but the state and the property staying in the country, maintaining control. It's great for the local environment and for the country. I would quickly show you an example how that could look on our DeVest platform. You see here an example of a flat in Rijeka, which is for rent. I currently have currently a share of 50%, and here's nice $300 for me to pick up, I earned, based on revenues and rent generated by this flat. It's that easy. I can extend my share by purchasing at the moment for $200, a bit more, or I can submit a sell order to sell off my shares, everything in an instant. Now, to the legal side. All what I presented you now, the USP, we realized in Croatia to the target that we opened a new company which is able to do that. We also already acquired 3 properties, and yes, one of them is a seaside villa, and 2 flats in Rijeka. All those 3 properties will be available on our platform for investments by the end of this year. I would be glad you take a look and maybe do your first investment in the Croatian tourism industry. And the next time when you visit Croatia, you might visit Croatia in your own villa, but also you might fly there in your own plane. We'll see about that. Thank you for your attention. I hope this made you interested.